Yeah, so the reason I wanted to talk to you was because I remember distinctly a photograph, and I think maybe it's on the Rage Club website, where there's you and I guess the Polish village, and there's your
Mm.
children and other people's children are there.
Hmm.
And I think I mean I remember that you once had a training space in Poland that was specifically for children and families and adults.
Hmm.
And yeah, and what I want to do at Somos is like a bridge house for families who have children, for adults who do not have children, for single parents to
Hmm.
come together and create village and yeah, and research how does that
Hmm.
go? How does that go
Yeah.
when we're together with people who want to feel? Um, Also, where are our fantasy worlds about this? And
Hmm.
where do we hit bottom? Um, and specifically, also, I want there to be adult spaces where feeling happens, where we hold space for emotional healing processes, for Rage Club and other things.
Hmm.
And so then I thought, I will speak to you. And I also know that you live it in a way at On Tree, but I
Hmm.
also know that you've had these kind of more temporary spaces where
Hmm.
you've come
Yeah.
together and created with others. So I wanted to start asking you about that.
Great. I'm glad you're creating that. Go, Christina. Yeah. So needed for parents. Yeah. So I'm open for, yeah, whatever questions you have, or I'm willing to share my
Mhm.
experience.
Yeah, so I think my first question would be about this, like having a space that is also distinctly for um, adult feeling processes, and then children being also there, and
Hmm.
how you have experienced it, but also how you have created specific spaces. Because I also, and sometimes I don't know if this is something that you once said or it's legends that I've heard, but that, for example, you would have rage spaces in the morning and children would be around. So if
Hmm.
you would share a little bit about that and
Yeah.
what were the learnings?
Yeah. We did the 1 month Bridgehouse in Poland with the families, and not families, so like they were parents with children and also adults with no children. So altogether, I think we were maybe 12 adults and around 8 children, something like that. And well, the commitment was that we come together for this 1 month to live together, to really create a village. And there was one project during this 1 month, which was the open days of trainings. So we created this 4 days for any people to come and to have a taste of how it is to live in that village in this context of radical responsibility. So we were also preparing, organizing this open days trainings, like 3 days training. So we had a commitment to really be together, which means that in the morning we were meeting every morning for around 2 hours after breakfast. And it was like, first we started with logistics, and one part of the logistics was who takes cares about children in which time.
Mhm.
So we were asking all the group. So it was not only the question to parents, but we have like a board, and then we written, okay, from that time to that time, that space holder, that time, that space holder, etc., or two space holders. So because there was a big group of people, and my experience is when they are children, they like to stay together. Yeah, so it's more like they move together from place to place.
Mhm.
So so it's also easier when there's more amount of children to hold space for them. Um, so we were sorting that in this logistics space. So immediately it was that the village take care about children. It was like at the default mode. Like everybody just holds space for children. And it wasn't like in the terms of shoots or you were yesterday, so today there need to be someone else. It was really like who wants. And there was never a problem. There was never like a missing space holder. There's always someone raising a hand. Mm. And then we had, after the logistic and other things we were sorting out, then we had a circle, a sharing, or we did some practice. So for example, we did the rage or we did the centering, and that was the space where children could be in this morning space. So they had also the toys around. It was a big yurt, huge place. So they had also their space, but they couldn't come into the middle of the circle, but they could come around, and they couldn't be very loud also, because that was the space where we were speaking. So that was the distinction also for them, that this is the space where the adults are speaking. You can be here, but you cannot make loud noises. You can play, etc. And when they made the loud noises, then someone was taking a stand to be with them and to go out with them, for example. Yeah, so if it didn't work for us to have them in the space, then someone was just taking care about them, or like inviting them to participate in what we were doing. So yeah, we were doing the rage with the towel, the lying down on the floor. And some children were participating, the older one, like a 6-year-old, and also express, and it was beautiful. It was so beautiful. There was this girl named Gaia, and she was coming every day almost, and then she was raging. And then she was also listening what we are doing, like there was the proposals in the sharing, like I propose to do today to hold space for that and that. Who is in the team with me? Yeah. And then some other day, she raised up her hand, said, I propose today to hold space for emotions for children and kids. And she has facilitated the space. So it was beautiful to see how children, they just can learn so fast by being in this environment. Yeah, it was wonderful. And then the other children, like for example, when we were raging, they were just looking from a distance with curiosity of what's happening. So it was working in this both ways. So that was the mixed space. And then after that, it depends whoever had any proposal. So someone had the proposal, let's build the bonfire, the place for fire. Someone like wanted to paint something, or someone wanted to practice something. So people were organizing themselves. Depends on what were the proposals. We were cooking together, cooking lunch together, and cooking dinner together. And there were space holders as it's on the lab. Yeah, so there was a space holder who is the main space holder, who is in the team, who is in the cleanup, but we were eating together every day. And then afternoon, we have committed to spend 3 hours together as adults. So always in this time, we had the rotating space holders for children. So for example, someone was with children for 1 hour or 2 hours, so that we could have only adult space. And that was the space for whatever was alive, either processing something or practicing something, or a discovery space, or whatever was really alive, whatever someone wanted to bring. So we were starting with sitting in the circle, and someone had a proposal, and then we were going with that proposal. So that was pure adult space, this 3 hours. Or it was a space also to organize, to work on this open days trainings. And then the evening was free, like after dinner, like a fire, etc. So basically, like we were really moving like an organism, like moving together and holding space for whatever is necessary in this village together. Also the infrastructure, we're putting the compost, the other things, because it was the place that we had houses. Everyone was living in a tiny house. And we have these big common spaces of big yurts. We created the outdoor kitchen. So there was also some work to do on the land for us to be
Mhm.
able to really live together for this 1 month. And then we had this event. So towards the end, maybe the third week, we have announced that the open day. So anybody can come into this village just to taste how it is to live here and to take part in the training that we offer. And there were 50 people coming. That was so big
Wow.
surprise for us.
Wow.
Because we just announced that maybe 9 days just before, and there's so many people came with families, with children. So we had the space holders for children during that time. So there were always someone who holds space for children, the children of our village and the children that just came, yeah, from outside. And there were more than one space holder because there
Mhm.
were more children. And then we were holding spaces. So there was one or two space holders holding space for some training. And it took like that, I think was 2 days from morning till the evening. There was all the time something happening.
Mhm.
And we were again like eating together with all these people that came. And they were also involved in that. So it was not like that they come and they served, but they were also, helping with cooking, with cleaning, with preparing, with like they were really joining the village
Yeah.
life. And and I was so I was so glad to see how fast they could do that, how fast they could enter. And one hint I have that was, I think, made such a big um, difference or was so beneficial, that every newcomer to our village was welcome at the gate. And then we had a flip chart with the codex, like parts, like some points
Mm.
of codex
Mhm.
of with context. What is the space about? So there was like a welcome people, like two people that were always at the gate at the first day, and just already welcoming. I invite you to this space, and this space is about that and that.
Yeah.
And that already was bringing people in such a liquid state that they were like really sensing, okay, I enter another space. There are another rules of engagement here.
Mhm.
And yeah. So they didn't behave as in their normal life that they came from. Yeah. So like this crossing the gate was like, yeah, I really entered the space of experimenting with another culture.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And it sounds like also another level of responsibility that you
Yes.
were in a way also inviting with the context.
Yes. And the spaces that we were like holding space for, these training spaces, were about that also, to experience what it means, like what it means to take radical level of responsibility. So we had the women's space, we had the men's space, we had the rage space, we had the fear space and feeling spaces. So like it was like a space for them to get to know the distinctions experientially and train them, like live with them in this couple of days. So some of them stay with us 3 days, some 5 days, these people. So that it was all together, like, okay, how now you can use this, what you have learned or gained in this rage space, in the life, in the daily life here, in
Hmm.
this village.
Hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, and the outcome was that, yeah, it's like we had to stop. Also, we had this, that people were still coming after first day, because they heard about what's happening, and they were still coming, and we
Okay.
had to just stop the registrations. But it was so legendary, that it just creates such a ripple effect. And
Hmm.
it was even not in the big city. It was maybe 1 hour from the big city you need to drive, and still, like, somehow, I don't know how that happened. Like, there were many people that no one of us didn't know, and they just
Yeah.
came. It was just such a pull of, gravity to for those people to come. And many of them, they went going, like they went to ETB, they went to trainings, they stayed, they went to other PM spaces. They are in the game world right now.
Mhm.
Yeah, but they were so ready. so ready to just try something different, to live differently.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I
Mm.
I wasn't aware of this big legend that is behind this like this question or these whatever rumors that I heard or how this bridge
Mm.
house how you unfolded this bridge house. Yeah. Yeah, and what I'm getting somehow or what I want to I think what's happening for me is like I'm like a part of me is trying to think about, like what would we do together? Something like that. And what I'm really getting from the way you speak about it is really like that it's more about what is our context? Like what is our
Mhm.
codex? What is our context? And then come together and then see, okay, what do we want to experiment with today? Or what is the necessity of the people today?
Mhm.
And that is something that really worked for you.
Yes, I think it's something you cannot predict.
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, the context, yes, is important. We agree that we live in this context, but the things life happens, things happens. Then different constellation of people, like they evoke something different. Yeah. So, and there's this group intelligence that really is at work. So when we meet together and these beings meet, then something happens in between and something starts to show up or appear in the moment. So yeah, we didn't make a plan. Like the only one intention was like, yeah, we want to create that space of open days,
Hmm.
but everything we were like, even what is this space exactly about, what trainings we want to do, like what we want to offer, we were doing in place there, like moment by moment, like meeting by meeting, like also processing what is to be processed in between
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's so important also to, yeah, if we move together to clear whatever is in the way,
Yes.
because that will impact the bigger field. um yeah, so we were moving from that place, and the same as we doing at On Tree, like we're moving from moment to moment, because there's a new
Mm.
things that are unfolding, and the new inspirations also that are coming from the now, from each of us. So we don't know what someone will bring next week or what will be alive, but
Yeah.
we can be now connected with that. And then that's the magic that happens, because I think this is the where the most energy flows. Where when there is something alive in us, then that's so much aliveness in the space, so much energy in the space, that the space is just rolling.
Hmm.
It's just moving. It just then it's in collaboration with each other, but also with the space. Then the people come, and then yeah, and I love this uncertainty and really discover from the moment to moment. This is for me so ecstatic in a way.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Mhm.
Mm. I, yeah. I want to bring one thing that I'm noticing. So I've been speaking to two people who specifically are interested to come with their child or children, and
Mhm.
it's two single parents, I would say. And so I had this, so when it kind of started to unfold in me, I had this wish of having like a longer period, like for example, 4 weeks.
Mhm.
And now I'm thinking more like 3 weeks. But then, like I'm speaking to some people who like they're in the game world, and they like at home they live a more modern culture, nuclear family or a single parent kind of life.
Mhm.
And I hear that it's really an edge for them. Like they say, oh, like maximum 2 weeks. Something like I really want
Mhm.
to come, but maximum 2 weeks. And and I notice it does something with me. I'm also right now really researching my strategy of being adaptive.
Mm-hmm.
And what is it that I really want to source and create, and what do I want to take a stand for? And when is it something like, let's find a common ground together? And when it's like, oh, this is what I want to take a stand for. And um, yeah, I'm speaking and I'm wondering about the purpose of what I'm speaking, but it's like
Mm-hmm.
this question of also, in a way, is like liquid state of what do we want to create together? Why do we want to come together? And is it something more like, oh, just it would be a fun adventure to do with my kids for a week? Or am I really opening my heart to this new possibility
Mm-hmm.
of creating a village that we're trying something new, and we want to do it in the context of radical responsibility, but we don't know exactly how that goes yet. And we don't know
Mm-hmm.
what will be the reactivities or the liquid states that we meet on the way. Um, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah, and what came to me when you said, if you want to hear,
yeah, go.
is that this is already you can already invite people through inviting to the certain context and holding space for that context. Yes, so that you create something that it's not reasonable, that it's not that you need to find the reasons also to come there. And then you can hold space like from which place the answers are coming from others. It is coming from this box place of I don't know how to organize 3 weeks because I have only a holiday for 2 weeks, or I don't know, whatever. Okay, this is not that source of
Mhm,
creation. Yeah, there are another possibilities. Yeah, so you can invite them to move into that context and to source possibilities from that context so that something in them really ignites. Say like, hell yes, I just don't know how, but I want to really live in that place. I really want to do this experiment for myself because I feel that pain and that pain and that pain, and I
yeah.
really want something different. So the yeah, that's the possibility that you go first with your unreasonability, or whatever word is that, being unreasonable.
Mhm,
Yeah, and really bring your fire to make that invitation so that people are just happy, yes, but they don't know how. And the how is just logistics.
mhm,
And maybe if not these people, then will be the other people. But that you carry that fire in you. You're connected with that. And just trust whoever will come is that are the people that you want to be with
mhm.
and recreate, because I hear you want to create something different. You want to create a village. So you
Yes.
need to have people who are ready, really, like have this, I want that
Mm,
too. Not who are like, maybe.
yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Thank you. That's really, yeah. I notice it's slowly landing,
Mhm.
and I'm really glad that I recorded this. And when you're speaking, I notice I'm like, oh, now it's time to start writing, because I've been like, I should maybe start writing. I've never written a codex, and then I hear you speak, and I'm like, oh, I need to start writing, It's like, there's like what you just said, like this, like igniting something in the other, or, like what
Yeah,
is it that I go for, and then yeah,
yeah,
bridging
because
that.
you have that spark. Yeah, so and it just needs one person, you. Like, it's like it just need one person to fire the other sparks. But to keep that flame and let that flame really get big.
Mhm.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, cool.
There's one thing that just came to me because I was saying about what was working in Polana
Hmm.
Bridgehouse, but also I want to share what didn't work. Uh, if you want to hear.
Yes, I do want to
Yeah.
hear.
So what didn't work, and I was just aware about that towards the end, maybe after 2 3 weeks, because my children that time were, I think, maybe 4 and 2 years old.
Was it like after the Women of Earth
Yes.
lab or something? The one in Germany?
Actually, the Woman on Earth was during the Bridgehouse,
Okay.
I think,
Hmm.
or something like that. Yeah, I think something. So my children were 2 and 4, and so the Oleo, the 4 years old, he was so, ready to go to other children. He wanted to meet them, be with them. But I didn't know also as a mother at that time that mm, he also needs an integration time and a container only with me or with my partner.
Mm.
So more like this space so that his nervous system can regulate and not be all the time exposed to a lot of
Mm.
stimulation and activities. So after 3, 4 weeks, we need to start like a kind of like repair program. And because the result was that his gremlin took over and there was a lot of also unconscious anger and energy very hype. So then we learned that okay, yeah, there's a village. It's great that he can go to other children, to other adults and have so many curiosity and activities. But we need to take care as adults to bring him home.
Yeah.
And even if he doesn't want to create the space in the way that is integration time, because he doesn't know that. The
Hmm.
child at that age doesn't know he needs that. So that was my learning. Yeah. And it took another weeks to create that, to let his nervous system regulate. So what I would change now is to make that separate time only for families,
Yeah.
to only be in the family bubble um, for that purpose, like once a day for some time. Um, and I this actually is the same here at On Tree happening.
Hmm.
They're older now. They are 4 and 6, but it's still the same. They could just go, you know, I'll be out there, but they need that for the regulation.
Hmm.
So I think that's important for parents because I was in this place of, whoa, how wonderful! Like they're all the adults, they're all the children. I have so much free space. Like they are not, clinched to
Yeah.
me. And I could just be also like my grandma could be like, yes, go, wonderful. But I don't take a responsibility of really holding space for what is needed.
Yeah.
That only I can hold space. Yeah,
Yeah.
the child will not come. Mom, I'm dysregulated. I'm hyperactive,
Hmm.
active. I need to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Thank
was
you.
the thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Thank you for that. It really also resonates with what I see. Like my children are the same age as your children.
Mm.
And my younger one, who's now 4, she's really like out there, like always out there. And even like not with the physical body, like she will not eat because she's just, out
Uh-huh.
there. And then like she will not go to the bathroom because she's just, and then we have to be like, okay, now,
Hmm.
now it's time, like
Yeah.
somehow to come, yeah, also to come back to the physical body, to come back to the small now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Totally. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, and that would have also been like another question that I have. Like you explained a little bit how the bridge house, like the shape of it, and what were the spaces, and when, yeah, like I wanted to ask something like how was it for the children, or how was the children culture unfolding in the bridge house?
From my perspective, I think it depends on the children. Mm, for my children, it was amazing adventure. Like they really loved that, especially Leo, the older one, because Mia was 2, so she was
Mm,
still like more with mommy and daddy. But what I saw that they were like first they were moving together. They had this natural pull to come together. Yeah, so they were moving from houses to houses, like wherever kids were. Yeah, so they to different adult houses together. Mm, but also they were children that were like that needed more space. Yeah. So didn't want to be with so many children.
mm,
So this is something that we as adults, we had to take care and notice, yeah, because there were some children that just want to be all the time with other children, and the other children wanted to have also their own space, especially the older one.
Yeah.
And there is this, this natural tendency, what I see from the younger to go to the older, because it's so interesting what they do. Yeah. But the older, they want like, okay, hold on, I also want to have my space.
Yeah.
So there was this negotiation happening, like more from our adults, from the adult perspective, to really hold that for these different needs of children, and so that everybody is well cared. Yeah. So it's not simulated. And I would now make more space dedicated for children culture. We didn't spend so much time talking about that, and I feel sad about that, because there was a lot of also dynamics happening, and a lot of was coming to the surface, what's visible of the also underworld activities, or what the beings want of the children. And we were so focused on adult spaces, and also on creating this
So,
chain. We were so on fire, that we didn't spend so much talking about that. So this is something we changed here at Ontry. Like, we talk a lot about children. Yeah, so it's something to take care about, really, that okay, there are children in the village.
yeah.
And now how we as adults also can take a stand to empower them. So the village is not only for us adults to get the children sorted. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. They have their own culture, they have their own group. Wonderful. Then we can do whatever we want to
Yeah.
do. No, the village is also for them as in collaboration. So because it's so easy for me, it was so easy. I was so hungry for the archetypal work, that I just wanted to work with adults. I want to be in the adult spaces. I want to do processes, etc., etc. That I could just easily, and especially I was like so much with children previously, that I just wanted to do so much to be with adults. But that's the shadow, my
Yeah.
shadow of, okay, it's not really working like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then how I can use my archetypal forces also to empower them, for them, like to direct it to children, yeah, all of the children, and see what's necessary in the space. Yeah. So this is what I would change the next time. What I would take as the learning to really dedicate more spaces about children, for children. Yeah. And also what works, like I was just now in the family camp from the community here in Golden Bay of homeschoolers, and they are meeting for many years already. They are children from 3 to 17 years old, so really a big spectrum. And they also move like group, yeah, like they're very close to each other. And it was wonderful to see this diversity in age, because it's so natural for them that the older one are taking care about the younger one, and there are these different threads in between them. And this is I see how I really would like to live. In the Bridgehouse, Bolana Bridgehouse, we had the children between 2 and 6. So it was not so big
Yeah.
range of ages. And I think that would work better if there is like minimum 8 children, and in a wide, um,
Age
the
span.
spectrum of ages. Yeah. So then it's more natural, this culture is creating. And this elder one also, they behave differently when they are small children, and they naturally step into holding space. It's also empowering for them. Yeah. And the younger one, they also feel more safe, because they are older, almost like parents, or like adults, like the teenagers, that they can rely on. Yeah. So this is for me like a perfect model, but it needs a big village,
Yeah.
a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this is like a few day camp for.
Yes,
Mhm,
yeah. There was a few days camp which they meet regularly, but also they meet every week in different activities because there's homeschools. There are 100 homeschool parents just in this very small region.
mhm.
So there's a big community. So these children, they meet a lot
Yeah.
in different activities during the week.
So they know each other. Mm.
They know each other very well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Yeah,
Hmm.
I don't know. I just feel really glad that I reach out to you and we're having this conversation.
Mm.
And also what I'm noticing is like when you're speaking, like the last, well, not the last two. Well, we've had some spaces with some families that I know from like my study times that we've gotten together for kind of like holidays or these kind of things.
Hmm.
And that is also, I think, where this wish from me first came from. Like I want to be more with families who
Hmm.
want to, I don't know, want to take higher levels of responsibility. But like a lot of the things that you have now mentioned, like I've noticed them coming up, like for example, this underworld thing of, they're self-entertaining, finally, like we can whatever,
Hmm.
And then there's not this like coming home or, like letting them, yeah, whatever, these things.
Hmm.
And yeah, and this wish from me to experiment with something else where the adults are taking a stand for higher level of responsibility for, yeah, looking at their underworld and
Hmm.
creating together something else and having this experimental space. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, go, Christine. I think it's just so necessary. I mean, I'm talking from the perspective of a mother that I would really never want to come back to living only with me and my partner and children because it's not normal. I
Hmm.
think it is not normal. It's really out of culture, out of, I don't know, something that is so natural for us to be surrounded with other people and share life, share also duties, responsibilities, because it's so much for a mother.
Yeah.
It's so much to do it in everyday life. And it was never like that. Like, I mean, many years ago it wasn't like that.
Hmm.
And we are going with Wojciech and children for 2 maybe 4 months to Fiji this summer, a European summer, to live with the indigenous people, because I have a sense that there is a lot of learning for
Hmm.
me from them, from this really, how they set up the village, how they live the village, how, yeah, like they are so embodied in that. I'm learning.
Hmm.
I'm relearning because I was raised in the modern culture, but they living that. They don't have distinctions. They don't have, like, a clarity. Like they cannot transmit it in the words that are clear and you can understand, but they
They're
can
doing
transmit
it.
it through the way they are,
Yeah.
through the energetics, through just being. And I really want to experience that, and I want that my children also experience that we have this experience in our life so that we can harvest the wisdom from them as long as they are still here, because we don't know how long this kind of people will be on earth.
Hmm.
But yes, so it's like for me a research, and also I sense my responsibility as a mother, if I want to create another culture, to keep researching that, what it really means, because in modern culture we don't know. Like we really need to research and find out in ourselves and finding out from people who already are living that, to really change it. And I also don't want to be naive that it's a fast process,
Yeah.
like to shift the culture. It maybe can be generations, but someone needs to start with something and experiment. and see this is working, this is not working, and yeah. So I'm so glad you're doing that and you're doing your research, and I yeah cheer on you. I celebrate you if you
Okay.
take a stand for that.
Yes. Yeah, and I want to ask you, can I continue to reach out to you?
Sure. Yes, of course. We will also be, I will be in Poland this summer. And together with Wojciech, Beata, and Marcin, I don't know if you know
Hmm.
Beata and Marcin.
Yeah. Well, like a tiny little bit.
Yeah, they were also in Tonga Island for
Hmm.
6 months living. Yeah.
And
So
they
we will
also have
create
two
the,
children, right?
yeah, they have two boys. We will create the something like a family camp in Poland also for families to experiment also with that. So create a space. So you're welcome to join. It would, I don't know, we just start to talk about it. I don't know exactly when and where and for how long, but we have this hunger to come together and to invite other families and parents and mothers and fathers and children to keep experimenting, to keep cross-pollinating, to keep
Yeah.
bringing our pain, our struggles, and looking for what else is possible. So I'm still in the research. So yeah,
Cool.
whenever you have an impulse, just reach out to me or I will reach out to you. I'm glad that yeah, that you are there as like my company in
Yes.
this.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Thank you for the space, Eva.
Yeah, thank you, Christina. Mm.
Yeah. I have, for now, I have no other last words.
All right. It looks like the space is complete.
Yes.
I'll see you in another space.
I will see you in another space. Bye bye.
Bye.